Hey guys, we're back. I didn't really want to start the video like this. I lost a ton of video, so that sucks. Can't recover it, it's gone. But I can still show you what I did, just can't show you the process. Not a big deal. It's stuff I'm gonna do later on anyway. It's just basic fabrication, pop rivets and stuff. I still got a ton of that stuff to do, so I can show you that stuff later. But what I'll show you is where we're at. We got a wall. So the wall framing is done. We've got door, window, fold out table on the outside for the barbecue. This is gonna get all skinned in pre-painted white aluminum. What I'll show you up here is how we mounted it. So this, if you watched my opener video, I showed you a rail that I cut down and welded back on at a 90-degree angle using a janky saw. This is that. 3-inch here, and then it's 2-inch in underneath with a 1-inch lip. I'll go on the inside and show you. And then it's all pop riveted 1/4-inch stainless structural rivets. That's the word I'm looking for. And there's lots of them. These are a barrel type hinge. There's a left and a right and a grease fitting. And I've just got them welded to the angle iron for strength because this is pretty thin. But yeah, this is the angle iron is welded right here. So it was cut, the final inch was cut off and then welded back on at a 90-degree angle to give a lip. And the rail sits inside the lip, so the door seal will be all the way around. There's a angle iron riveted on here. You can kind of see it all the way around. And then on the inside, you can see some of the pop rivets coming through. There's another piece of angle iron. It's 1.5 by 1.5 inches. And it's drilled up from the bottom, on the bottom side of that 3-inch angle iron, through the 1.5-inch angle iron, and sandwiched between the factory lip of the body. The lower rivets go through that secondary angle iron. So we've got our linear actuator. It's fully retracted right now, so the door kind of floats at the bottom. I have latches that are gonna pull it in tight once it's closed. This is my mounting system I built. It's tied into the drop bed rail. And then I built just another piece of square tube riveted to the rail on the end. It's welded to that, and then it goes down to the floor, and it's pop riveted through this faceplate, and I'm gonna put bolts through that angle iron there. But you can see the rivets all the way up. And on this side, geez, pop riveted together. I went with rivets on everything, just so I don't have to weld to the body. I didn't want to risk warping the body or messing up the paint on the outside, because this thing is painted, it's white on the outside, so if I put too much heat to the wall, it could wreck my paint. It could also warp the factory wall rails. I didn't want any warpage. I didn't want to mess the trailer itself up, so I pop riveted everything together. Pop rivets also allow flex. These boxes aren't super rigid, so when you're going over bumps, they kind of jiggle around. That allows a little bit of room without cracking. Aluminum's bad for cracking. It's very lightweight, it's very strong, which is why we use it, but it's prone to cracking compared to steel. So a rivet is a way to help prevent too much flex cracking, I guess you would call it. And I went with stainless rivets. these are what we're using. So we've got a 1/4 inch. I believe there's 7/8 or 3/4 grip structural rivets. Now these are waterproof, so they'll when they pull through, they have a very uniform it's very uniform when it crushes in. It's not, if you've ever used like just cheap regular pop rivets, they kind of mushroom up and fold over. These form very uniform. You could probably see that on these up here. Very uniform, and they're waterproof. They're not hollow. The anvil breaks off inside, makes a seal. So that's a good waterproof option. They don't wick water as much as a regular pop rivet. They're also very strong. These are stainless steel. They're very expensive, but if you know anything about metallurgy, you don't really want to mix metals. So if you have aluminum, if you put steel with aluminum, it corrodes really bad, and the steel will actually corrode the aluminum. Aluminum has very good corrosion resistance, I guess you would call it. Probably why they make a lot of cars out of aluminum now. But if you mix it with regular steel, they corrode and it gets weak. That's why you use stainless steel or aluminum. You can use aluminum rivets. I didn't want to because they're not very strong. Like I talked about with things moving around, aluminum's prone to cracking and breaking. Aluminum's more likely to break than a stainless steel one. The tensile strength of these is huge compared to an aluminum rivet, which is why we went with those. So that's the one style. That's the 1/4 inch pan heads. I also have, which I haven't used yet, are these. They're the same thing, but they have a taper, nice little taper seat. And what I'm going to use these for is securing the wood, because I'm going to do like a strapping on the walls. So I'm going to put a wood strapping down the wall to put my interior walls on. So I'm going to pop rivet the wood strapping to the aluminum body with these guys, and then I can just screw, like I'm thinking like a shiplap or a nickel gap type wood. Then I can just screw the shiplap to the strapping, which makes life simple. Then I don't need anything fancy. I don't have these ugly rivets poking through my wall. I can hide my screws. It'll look nice. I want this thing nice. I want it to last. That's why we went with the stainless rivets, and why I'm going to build things the way I'm building them. The other one I have, these are a 3/16 multi-grip stainless steel rivet. So you can see these little divots here. They collapse in different areas for different thicknesses of material that you're going through. And I have one here that I already crushed down. So you can see the different layers. So if you're going through different thicknesses of materials, these are ideal. Then you don't need 50 different lengths of rivet. You can just have one that'll do everything. And these are really nice too because they're fairly watertight. They've got a really nice anvil on the top that collapses everything. If you've ever used rivets, you would know the big ones are miserable. They are absolutely miserable to try and do with something like this. The amount of rivets I've put in so far, that's the way to go, baby. There's lots of companies that make these. If you've ever used one of these, BAM, zero effort. Like, it'll take a 1/4 inch pop rivet and just bink like nothing. That's how you do it. Like, save your wrists, save your shoulders, save your hands. this is the unit. This only does 3/16 and bigger, so you can't even put small rivets in this. You'll have to use a smaller one. They do make a smaller unit that does 3/16 and down, and it's reasonably priced. This one, Milwaukee, is not reasonably priced, just so you know. But if you're putting 700 to 1,000 1/4" and 3/16 rivets in, I guess it is worth it. When you do something like rivets, you got to have the tools to do rivets. That's the problem with everything. Comes down to tools, 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 like we were talking about before. Here I am talking to myself. It's the essence of chaos. Yeah. Get to work.
Bye.